68 Ventures Bowl. What is 68 Ventures? I don't even know what that is. So, look that up while I go through this. South Alabama, talk about home field advantage. So play on their home field in Mobile against Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan, you could make a case, is the worst bowl team in the history of bowls. I mean, this team, it is sad that they got into a bowl. They are 17-point underdogs here, over under 46.5. Here's who Eastern Michigan beat this year. UMass.
The 0. Yeah, the answer is 0. Go ahead.
Yeah. UMass on a last-second touchdown at home. Howard. Ball State, before Ball State was even playing well. Kent State. Akron in double overtime. And Buffalo. That's it. Those are their wins. This team is bad. Their starting quarterback, Austin Smith, who's also bad, is somehow in the portal. I mean, I don't think he's going to play. What's he getting? Looks by D3 teams. If not, it's probably going to be Ike Udengwu, who would start. He's more of a runner. He played 51 snaps, so he just basically comes in and runs into walls. Maybe you could see Cameron McCoy as well. Their starting edge, Micah Coleman, out, committed to Cincy. Starting defensive lineman, Alex Merritt, he's in the portal. Their starting offensive guard, Zach Conti, out, committed to Southern Miss. Their tight end, Andres Paskey, committed to Arkansas. Oh, you guys, big splash there, getting the Eastern Michigan tight end. As far as South Alabama is concerned, they do have a couple notable absences. Their top wide receiver, Colin Lacey, he's good. He had 91 catches, over 1,300 plus yards. Portal. Their starting running back, LaDamian Webb, he has a toe injury. He'll be out. Expect McReynolds, who got 99 snaps, to get the start, and Kentrell Bullock, who should be back from injury. He had 200 snaps. They should share duties there. Their starting left tackle, Jordan Davis, also missed the finale with an injury. The quarterback situation is still up in the air. I would assume Carter Bradley is okay, their starter, but he's dealing with a knee injury. He's been splitting reps in bowl practices with both freshman Gio Lopez and senior Desmond Trotter. When I look at this game, if you look at South Alabama this year, at least they're playing at home, because it was a disappointing year for them based on when now they're playing like a impoverished Eastern Michigan team. So I would be worried about their motivation, but they're playing at home. So I think that, and these are 2 6-6 teams, I think that they'll care here. I have no idea how Eastern Michigan's going to move the ball. So the South Alabama, the biggest weakness on the team by far is their cornerbacks. Fletcher and Robinson on the outside have just been bad, but Eastern Michigan can't throw the ball. And now you're down to your backup quarterback. You're not going to run on South Alabama. I don't know how Eastern Michigan moves the ball. Chris Creighton, his teams aren't going to beat themselves. So the special teams are going to be buttoned up. They're not going to be penalized, right? So they'll play like a clean game here.
They're excellent in tackling.
Yeah, so that's tough, because it's like you have this really bad team in a bowl, but they're going to actually probably play clean. I just don't know how Eastern Michigan scores. Eastern Michigan's secondary's been pretty good. They give up explosive pass plays, but their secondary, their corners have been much better than anticipated. I want to lay it, but I don't think I can lay 17 with South Alabama. But I would lean that way. Eastern Michigan's really bad, and I would lean to the under as well. I just don't know Eastern Michigan scores. What do you see here?
Yeah, I mean, here's what Eastern Michigan has going for it. 16th in tackle grading per PFF. 32nd in broken tackles allowed. That helps trim some explosives. 24th in special teams. Outside of that, I don't have anything from you from a
They usually don't get penalized a lot. That's about it.
Yeah, right. And then they're low on penalties. I can't make a case for how they're going to score points, but I'm going to tell you that I'm taking the last Eastern Michigan number on the board. And listen, I mean, you mentioned the players that are out for South Alabama. This is not a clean sweep offensive attack that we think is going to be there. I mean, quarterback Carter Bradley remains the best, but I mean, his 2 skilled position players, Webb and Lacey, are out, like you mentioned. Wide receiver Jamal Pritchett is up next in the pass game. He had 320 snaps as a wideout, 90 in the slot. I mean, he had 2 yards per route run, but that's it. Next up from a running back perspective is
And
Kentrell
Lacey's going to
Bullock.
Louisville, so he already committed, so he's not going to play.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, they're thin. I mean, they have Jamal Pritchett at wide receiver. That's it. And then running back wise, Kentrell Bullock is up next. He's got a pretty high elusive grade, but he didn't generate nearly half the explosives and missed tackles, only about 40% of the snaps that Webb got. So, the Eastern Michigan defense, much better in standard downs against the pass. South Alabama, 11th in standard downs, EPA. Eastern Michigan, 10th, and allowing explosives in standard downs. So at least in standard downs, Eastern Michigan, whether they're showing a 2-man front and dropping 9, they just do not allow any explosives in standard downs whatsoever. Now, passing downs is where there's an issue for the Eastern Michigan defense. But like I said, Webb and Lacey, they accounted for 57 touches on third down. Bullock and Pritchett, who are going to play, 32. So there is a lot of inexperience here on third downs about who the skill position players are going to be. There's a lot of inexperience when South Alabama gets into scoring position. And, South Alabama was pretty elite in scoring, 18th in finishing drives, 6th in red zone TD rate. But you've lost the 2 weapons that have the most third down and red zone touches by far. So a little bit of a learning experience there. I think it's actually good that quarterback Austin Smith is not playing here. He fumbled the ball 7 times this season in rushing attempts. I mean, it's pretty bad. At least Ike Adungwa can, protect the ball. We haven't seen a rash of fumbles there. He can't throw whatsoever. He doesn't really have a lot of elusiveness in his run game. If this game was played during the regular season, I would project this South Alabama minus 13.5. SP Plus would have projected it minus 15. The market, as Stuckey and I are talking, is 17. I don't see anything happening except this number steaming, period. And if there's buyback on Eastern Michigan, it's for no reason because of their players. And I don't think it's any reason because South Alabama's best players are already sitting out. So if there's steam above 17 and a half, you get me interested. I'm just going to let it go. 30 minutes before kick, Eastern Michigan. I'll take one bet. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's just too high.
Yeah. I can't lay it. This is a team I wanted to fade bad. But I do you agree in the under?
Oh, yeah. I mean, how's Eastern Michigan scoring at all? How are they?
I don't think Eastern Michigan scoring. They'll be methodical. And then you can run on Eastern Michigan, which might be just South Alabama's path here because they're just small up front, which will keep the clock going. And then Eastern Michigan will clean up, will tackle well, will prevent explosives. So, and they'll punt well. They won't get penalties.
And South Alabama is not as good as what the numbers say because they lost their best weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, 68 Ventures, an Alabama-based company involved in Gulf Coast development, investment, and construction. I would have gone with like a movie theater. I had no clue what it was.
I had no idea.